Hey everybody, Dr. Diane here, founder of MyLyme.clinic, and in this video we're going to talk about black mold symptoms. Now, this is a really important conversation, and there's a couple things to ground us in. One is that black mold that is classically thought to be problematic for biology, for the human, it's a species of mold called Stachybotrys that is a problem. And it's important to understand that not all black mold is Stachybotrys, right? So just because you see some black mold in your shower, for example, does not mean it's the big bad Stachybotrys. Certainly could be. Black mold symptoms are really difficult to identify because black mold and mold in general, it's not only black mold that can cause symptoms. There's a myriad of types of mold that are really problematic for the human being, and then other molds that are not so problematic. So if you have a mold growth in your house or your office, whether it's black mold or another problematic mold, these types of problems or these types of symptoms are widespread. They're the great mimickers, right? So this is why mold and mold toxin illness typically gets misdiagnosed, is because unless you're looking for this could look like fibromyalgia, this could look like headaches, this could look like migraines, it could look like dementia, it could look like neurological problems, it could look like chronic fatigue, it could look like bipolarism, it could look like depression, anxiety, it could look like joint pain and autoimmune. I've seen it show up as gut problems, insomnia, hormone imbalance, thyroid problems, on and on and on and on. And I know when you hear this list, it can be a little overwhelming of like, well, crap, that could cause a lot of different things. And yes, it could. So basically, a time to think about black mold really is if you have symptoms and they're not going away with treatment, right? So if you have symptoms and you're not getting effects with treatment or you're not finding a right diagnosis, this is when you want to really think about black mold, because you want to make sure you're testing for it, because that's the only way you're going to learn if you have it in your body. Testing that I recommend for this at this point is called a urinary mycotoxin test. And this is where you're looking to see if these toxins are actually coming out in your urine. Now, small amounts of toxins are very normal, right? Because we do it with any person, whether a sick person or a healthy person encounters mold, the body will detox the toxins that come from mold. That's a very normal process. So when the body detoxes the toxins that come from mold, they are supposed to end up in the urine. That is totally normal. The problem is when they back up and the body's not able to get them out at a rate that is acceptable, they can then build up in the cells and the tissues and cause all sorts of problems. They can cross the blood-brain barrier. They can actually cause our nerve cells to die. So there's a lot of mechanisms behind why this is happening. And so if you're looking to figure out, do you have black mold in your body, the first step is to go beyond the symptoms, because you really can't determine this just because the symptoms. Once you have a sense of this symptom, so say you have this crazy headache, like for me, for when I get around black mold in particular, of all molds, I get a very certain type of headache. And I've learned over the years that if I have this type of headache, there's black mold there. So sometimes when you learn and you work through the process of learning your body and understanding what's happening, sometimes you can begin to start to link certain types of symptoms to the black mold exposure or to mold exposure in general. But initially, it's very difficult to just use symptoms to determine if you have black mold or if you have another type of mold and mycotoxin buildup in your body, because the symptoms are so widespread. So the best solution really is testing. If you are interested in testing, if you're interested in learning more about what's working, what it's like to work with my clinic, we do offer complimentary 30-minute health evaluation calls, at least that we do at the time of making this video. You can learn more about how we work at mylymedoc.com, see the caption, and if this has been helpful, please do subscribe. See you in the next one.